Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and it is the first week of May, and I'm taking you on a tour of my gardens. There has been a lot of change since the last time, but the temps have been really nice. More sun, that definitely helps, and it's supposed to be in the 80s here soon. So the tulips down here, I had seen one. Oh yeah, they're starting to get their buds. So I can't wait. I'm hoping in another week, especially with the 80-degree weather, that should really make things pop here. These hydrangeas are just really slow to bud out. I know this end one has, but the rest have not. I am just a little bit concerned. But not. I'll hang in there. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. I kept them well watered last year. The heuchera down here just looks amazing. I'm going to go in and clean up some of that dead foliage in there. It's not too bad. It is early morning, and I did this because it's supposed to get really windy today, so there is a breeze. The Jacob's ladder is filling out very nicely. I do have some hostas coming up down here, if you can see. These are going to be cool as a cucumber. Just starting. All right. I think it's supposed to be 70 today. Absolutely perfect day. Been hardening off a lot of my plants. Very happy. I think I'm done with the perennial seedlings and I'm onto the annuals. Oh, snow on the mountain. Nothing on my crocuses yet, so I'm surprised. But they're still there, so there's that. On the agenda for today is just get back into my beds and just do a little more cleanup. Especially on these hydrangeas over here. The Solomon seal back here is looking really good. Not so sure about these heucheras down here, so we will see. Down here, I just saw this the other day. These are the curly fry hostas coming through. And my bush honeysuckle is leafing out. Very aggressive plant. It's native, but I do love this. I have a tendency to like the aggressive plants. I want to say this down here, if you can see it. I'm hoping. I planted a giant Solomon seal, I think that is what that is. Fingers crossed, because that's supposed to get, I think, under 3 feet tall. King size hosta, and I have other ones that are coming up looking good. And then back here, my ostrich fern, that is, very happy about that. They looked tough last year. I'm seeing growth on all 3, so that foxglove that foxglove back there looks kind of scrawny. It's the only one that's made it. I'll see what happens. This is the wild ginger. That's looking really good. Nice and green. Very vibrant green. I'd gotten these planted up with some violas and pansies. Isn't that such a beautiful blue color? That's the back of it. There we go. So cheerful. And yes, this one is leafing out too. The dwarf blue Arctic willow. I'm hoping it leaves down at the bottom. If not, I'll kind of prune it up. Maybe it'll flush out, but I'm just happy to see some growth on that. And then my Bernera. To me, I feel like there's been a lot of growth since a week ago, so considering how slow we were to start. This one's doing really good down here. And there is also one that had self-seeded, so I might have to dig that one up and place that elsewhere just to give it a little more room. The obsidian heuchera is just, look at the growth inside. This is a massive goat's beard, so I've had this for at least 10 years. It's a nice sized clump. I do have a bleeding heart back here. The last couple years, we've always had kind of a late, some really cold nights. And it's never done really good. But right now, for the next week and a half to 2 weeks, I'm not seeing anything lower than, I think, 46. So honestly, I could plant right now and be fine. I'm not ready to yet. Huge clump of some substance. Still just kind of cleaning things up and just deciding where I want to put everything. That's the tricky part. Just going to stay to this side because nothing really happening in the back. This is a little cooler area. It's more shady. So things just are a little slower to emerge in here. Nothing so far on my White Lights Azalea. So yep, I still have that ugly cage around it, but it's doing its job. So thank you, cage. Sweet woodruff is all this little brown cover in here. I really like it, and it likes this spot. So pulmonaria. I have some that I ordered that came, so I love pulmonaria. I can't have too much. This is Muckgenia in here. I mean, it's doing okay, but I'm not a huge fan of it. And then down here, I'm trying to figure out what this is, what I planted. It's either Squill or it's Glory of the Snow. The picture showed more blue than, to me it looks pink. But there is some purple in there. It's not showing up real well on film. That came up really quick. We'll go to this one. I have a lot of early blooming bulbs in this garden here. I also have Solomon seal planted throughout here. Wherever you see the pink growth, that took a little bit too. I think I have 5 clumps of it throughout the garden here. More snow on the mountain, not snow on the mountain, sorry, no, sweet woodruff. No, the snow on the mountain is going to stay where it's at. At some point, I may even decide to get rid of it or try to get rid of it. That's the key part. And then I was so worried that humpback whale hosta was not going to come back, but I see growth. There's just some hostas that are favorites that it's just kind of, until you see them, you're like, oh. I do have Trevor out. I just hope I didn't put him on a hosta. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, let's go this way. This is just a path right here. Nothing should come up in here for the time being. I know something will at some point, either Lily of the Valley or this very aggressive Lamiostrum. But for the time being, it's been nice being able to walk through here. I do have some Ligularia planted back here. It did come up 2 clumps. 1 didn't make it. Not a whole lot to see yet, so hopefully by next week I'll have a little something more to show you. This down here is an Empress Wu Hosta, and that one's looking pretty good. I'm very happy. Probably can't see a whole lot. There we go. Not a favorite hosta, but expensive. I got it the first year that it was like the it hosta. Blood sorrel. What's really cool in here is, this is Siberian Irises. They're looking really good, but then I do have Clematis planted kind of throughout. Can't wait to see what those look like. I'm just happy that the squirrels have left that alone. Starting to open up. My pagoda dogwood, golden shadows. It's a favorite. Let's see. Pulmonaria, look at that. Pretty soon. I think this down here is just those, are they the wild violas, the Johnny Jump Ups? I didn't plant these. They just hitched right with a plant I got from another place. But they are pretty, but whoa, are they all over. Valerian. We'll see how I like that here. I have to love that foliage. It does lose the pink color as it matures throughout the season, but it keeps that really kind of ferny foliage, which I absolutely love. They're still here until I get in here and dig them out. The sedums. Just appreciating them right now. I do have one bloom on a daffodil here, or bud I should say. And for all of that foliage, you would think that it would put out, maybe I'll have another one, maybe right there. This is Campanula. And then giant alliums in between the Clematis that I was worried about. It'll be fine. I saw a lot of growths on there, so growth points. I shouldn't say growth. That sounds gross. But yeah, they should do good. They might not get as huge as last year, but they'll be fine. This rose looks really good, and today I'm going to be trimming them all up. Where'd you go? Kind of blending. A lot of good growth on that one. The other one's not so much, so a little concerned about that. I have a Persian blue Nepeta planted down here. And honestly, I'm really liking the Persian blue over the cat's pajamas. It's just more aggressive. I planted this last year, and this is a huge clump. So nothing against cat. Sorry, I can't speak today either. Nothing against cat's pajamas, but I just think it's a little delicate, at least in my zone. Remember, I'm a zone 4B, so things just don't grow as good here. I'm gonna go to the back real quick and then try and figure out how to work my way around. So valerian is really aggressive just because I left one in this container. This was a seedling with no protection, and it's coming up. Oh, let's take a look at my rhubarb. Look at that. Looks great. And then for some reason, I'm just going to show you too. Still a work in progress, and this is my veggie garden. These are all garlic chives. Everywhere you see that. And down there. And there. I don't know what it likes about this area. And then I for sure thought the mint would come back. It didn't. So there. That's all the roots in there. I killed mint. So back here, I did move the alum root I had in that other area. It's native to my area, and it's doing really good. I didn't have the heart to get rid of it last year, so I figured this is kind of a good spot for it. Otherwise, it was a lot of bare ground back here, which is not a bad thing, but it just helps with weeds. I'm not sure about this Clematis over here. I have avant-garde on the other side, but down here I have one coming up. It's called Phyllis. And I had ordered this one online, and if I can show you on here, or if it shows up right there. It looked really tough, so I'm very surprised to see that. So I'm hoping I get, and I plant my Clematis deep, so I'm hoping I get some shoots that come up from ground level. This hosta is a huge clump. Oh, look at that. But this is always a big one. I do have some other ginger in here, and not like the other kind. The other kind has like a shiny, glossy foliage. This one does not. And it's never gotten any bigger than this. But then again, it's always shaded out by everything back here. And I know it likes the shade, but maybe not that much. This is the Korean featherweed grass. It looks amazing. And these were the other two I planted last year, which had prompted me to grow some from seed, which are doing really good too. But I'm just shocked at the growth on this. And I was concerned about this. It's a tiny wine 9-bark. And I am seeing some growth on there. And down here, I'd gotten this from Gilbert H. Wild online, and this is an Annabelle Hydrangea, and it's putting out lots of growth. Very happy about that. I can cut it, I'm gonna cut it like right, if you can see with my finger, right there. And all the other stuff can get clipped off, and it will be perfectly fine. Look at my honeysuckle. Oh, love it. Oh, I'm gonna show you this beast. I was thinking about splitting this, like this right here, or dividing it. This is a giant fleece flower. But I would just try to figure out where I would plant it. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this arborvitae. It just, yeah. I mean, the top growth is fine, but I don't think it's gonna do anything down there. And there's the other one. Yep. Oh, those were spendy. These grasses are doing really good. And let's see here. Nelly, Moser, Clematis is, yeah. Oh, that'll be a good one. Let's see. It's always hard to figure out which way I want to go, so I'm not backtracking a whole lot, but it is what it is. Sorry, I yawned there a little early. This is a Daylily Nosferatu. And let's see. I think this is Purple Sensation Allium. Pretty sure. Yeah, and so this hydrangea down here, so you can see the new growth coming out right there. So that's what I wait for until I trim them. And most are doing that, so very happy about that. But yeah, the bubbles are just not. I don't think there's anything on these tulips yet. I'm not seeing anything. I did trim up my Ito peony. Down here, super excited about this. This is Baptisia. This is doing really good. I mean, it's this entire, I'll zoom out here, so it's this whole area here. It's going to be a big one this year. Tree peony. This looks dead here. Actually, this whole stalk. Ugh. Well, maybe not the whole, because there is some growth down there. I'll wait just a little bit, but that looks kind of dead to me. Oh, that's too bad. They take forever. Look at, much bigger, huh? Very happy with this one. It might be a little big for this area, so I was thinking at some point, probably sooner than later, because before it gets too big. As I think this is on its last legs, it's pretty rotten, so I was thinking about just planting it in this spot here and letting it have this whole area. I think that would be a good spot for it. I don't want to put it in a raised bed, because I'm losing room in my raised beds for veggies as is. This one I still have not tied in, like I said. It's just been so windy, so I think today will be a good day, but look at all that beautiful growth. I can't wait. I'm super excited about this. I know it's just William Baffin, but it is super tall. I'm hoping that these meet this year. Oh. I don't think these tulips are going to do anything. These were from last year. I'm just seeing a lot of foliage. It might send up a flower stalk. I'm not sure. The hardy geraniums look really good over here. Just going to show you all my perennials. That. So the hardening off process with these went a lot better than anticipated. Oh, my heuchera, yeah. This is the problem, where am I going to plant everything? I have so many different varieties and just walking through. Oh, and I wanted to show you. Look, this is my Agastache. And it's going to be blooming. And I pinched that. And it's just branching out really nicely. Can't wait to see what that's like. Hummingbirds love it. Pollinators. Oh, in here, I'd ordered some plants, and some hostas to be exact, and a hellebore. So it's sitting in there for the time being. I'm babying it. I potted it up, so I'm just going to give it a little bit. Super excited about that one. I only did one just because I've never grown them before, and my zone can be a little tricky, and they are a little spendy. So fingers crossed it works for me. Next year we will find out. Columbine here, this is a really good clump, along with some other ones. I have lots of salvias down here. It looks like the veronicas I planted are going to be a little aggressive. I have to get in here and clean up the lamb's ear, but that's flushing out really good. It might still look a little gnarly, but don't worry, it will look glorious once I can really get in there and cut. And then these tulips have their buds. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait. I know a lot of you, most of your tulips are probably done in daffodils, but everything's just starting for me. Fern Peony. Hoping I get a bloom this year. This will be year 3. I got this from a friend, so otherwise they are very expensive too. But she gave me 2 clumps of it. But yeah, it's just, that looks really good. Let me just get in there and Get rid of all the yet seed. Look, that's what looks really nice. This, hey, it's got a bud on it. I think this is going to be big apricot. This is from last year. And this is where I mean that's the Persian blue, Nepeta. And then along with that, very nice, tight, aggressive growth. So I'll wait a little bit before I form any judgment, because maybe it looks really nice now, but maybe later in the season I'll be like, no. Because right next door, over here, this is, where is it? Cat's pajamas. So there's a lot of growth in there. Just different, we'll say that. And I was also worried about Bridal Falls Hosta coming back, and they're all coming back. If you see that, that I was hammering and I hit my finger. It's been a week now since that's been there. Everybody thinks I have marker on it, but I am seeing some growth. These are also ones that just kind of, oh, look at that. Alchemilla Mala, so pretty. The grasses, I need to get in there a little bit and try and clean that up. That brown foliage is not wanting to come out really well, so I was hoping it would just pull out. Hardy geranium looks pretty good. There are some, I'm not going to say dead bits because there are some coming up in there, so I'm just giving it a little bit. I might cut a little bit, but for the most part it does fill out rather nicely. It is. I just have to stop because it's such a beautiful morning. Can't wait to see what this looks like next week, but I don't want to rush time because I can't believe it's already May 7th. Goat's beard. More pansies I planted up. I knew it. I knew when I would plant the pansies that warm weather would come. I should have planted them in April, like the start of April. Maybe I would have brought the warm weather. That's okay. Like I said, I think it'll still be about 2-3 weeks before I can really... I'll be planting a few things, but I don't have to be gung-ho. And then these are all Bridal Falls Hosta down here at the corners of my dog kennel. This, oh, so happy. Alright. I just love how that morning sun comes through this area. I don't know if I can... Those flowers, they may be dainty, but they are the first things to bloom in my garden. So hopefully you enjoyed this first May garden tour, and bye for now.